Ba-ba-boom. Okay, cool beans. Alright. In my effort to crank out some more premium content for you guys, let's take a look at this. So this was given to me by a good friend. A long time ago, I did a massive wireless deployment way back when with him. And we rolled out some... God, it was like, well, what we would consider now to be like antique Wi-Fi, man, like wireless G and wireless A. This is a dual band Sooo 2.4 and 5 gigahertz access point for Wi-Fi. Let me just grab a screw mount driver. Rama. There we go, and a Phillips bit. Here's my goat. Has anybody seen my goat? Seen my goat? Seen my goat? There we go. Christmas goat.
JJ.
Let's take out the, these are what are called GDTs, gas discharge tubes, on the tops here. And actually, Dlink sent them with the actual AP. And I have to say, if there's any piece of equipment that Dlink actually made that was really good, this was actually well built. I'm not gonna lie. Here's a few of these. But sending it with the GDTs as well, that was a really awesome thing to do. So we had these things connected to 10-watt amplifiers and specifically used within a certain space. Now, fortunately, he had his ham license, so we were allowed to operate in that range. So let's take off one of these, or both of the GDTs, actually. This is gonna be really interesting to take apart a massive access point of this caliper, right? Okay. So first things first, I'm just gonna put this aside for a second. I wanna show you what's inside of these. So this little guy is just like a little inline. I think that the loss on these is about 5 dB. Don't quote me on that. But if we take this guy, I think I might be able to get it open. Where the hell's my vise? Oh, I left my vise in the truck. Let me go and get my spare vise, hold on.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Okay, so if I take this little cap off here, you're going to see inside, here we go, that there is actually a little glass tube, and it's argon, xenon, or some type of a reactive gas inside of it. So let's see if I can get this in there. Oh my god, I actually got it open. Unbelievable. Holy hell, the corrosion on that. What if we can actually get it out? This would be kind of cool. So these are little replaceable. Oh my god, is that corroded? Oh, that's the contact gasket. Okay, so it looks like this might actually just pop out now. Take a look at these guys. I don't think that's, I'm not sure you can actually use these particular types of protection on some of the newer devices, just because the kind of RF that we're dealing with now, we're starting to get into millimeter wave. Let's see here. It might come out now. Hold on. Can I get it out? Come on. Don't worry, by the way, I'm not going to spend the whole video picking this little tube out of here, but I do want to try to get it out.
One eternity later.
I'm using a screwdriver as a hammer. I actually use that analogy all the time, by the way. Let's see if I can get it out with a little piece of neodymium. Let's see here. So I'll take my neodymium here. I'll grab me a little pair of pliers. Where's my cute little pliers? There we go. We're lucky that's not stainless. Oop. Oh my god, this is gonna be tricky. Here we go. Can we get that? Ah, there we go. I got it. Woohoo! Look at that. So that is a gas discharge tube. The rating on this is 2P2310. So this actually has a conductive material in it. And if you look at the way that it's designed, you'll see that it's a bridge. So here's these are reverse polarity. Isn't that odd?
Thinking.
Huh. So anyway, reverse polarity ends. So these are pretty much useless anywhere, by the way. If you look inside, you will see a little joiner going from I'm going to call this male to the female side. Whatever. It's a hermaphrodite, an RF hermaphrodite. So it goes straight across here. But then what happens is when you drop in the GDT like so, this actually rests right on top of that little bridge between the two. And then this little conductive spring goes on top. And then we simply take this little ground piece here and toss it in. And then that will conduct at a certain voltage. It'll fault to ground and conduct the center pole on this guy to the chassis of this. All right, look at this old connector. Oh, can I even get it off? Oh, come off. This thing is just, listen, isn't that horrendous? Okay, so now I've got that piece off there. We'll put our neodymium. Actually, I'm just gonna stick it right there because it'll be handy in the future. Now let's take this guy apart. I know you guys love watching me tear shit apart. The best way to experience this is with a cigar. I recommend a Habano, a glass of Bushmills, Chivas, or, you know, I really love anything from Glen Distilleries, so like a nice 18-year Glenfiddich, and some dark chocolate. Great combination for a nice evening when you're trying to enjoy a fat chick tearing down electronics equipment. Here we go. Moo. Let's get her open. Now, I've noticed 2 screws on top here as well, which I believe are actually for grounding too. There's like grounding options all over this unit, which I really do appreciate. This is actually one of the better built pieces of Dlink equipment. Otherwise, you'll probably hear me say a lot of bad things about Dlink, especially on their consumer level. And I don't trust their switches, as I've used their enterprise switches and had them actually brick. And I don't like that. That's no bueno, man. Alright, here we go. This is another situation where I could probably use my little neodymium here. Boop, 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 boop. Stainless! Stainless, cool. Alright, let's get all of our screwy screws here. What I might do is put them over here, and I might actually take this Christmas cloth and move it out of the way. Alright, do we have any left? I think we have a couple left. Let me, tweezers. Look at my shitty tweezers here. These are for bullet screws. And, there we go. Alright, I think that's all of them. Let us decase it. I hope that a million bugs don't swarm out at me. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, this is built better than I thought. Holy shit. Look at that. Oh, look at this. Oh my god, they actually put a heater in here. Like in a wireless access point. This is actually pretty well built. Let's take a look at this. Fuck yeah. This is not what I was expecting, folks. I am impressed. Like, I know that this is it was a nice piece of hardware for what it is. I mean, technically it still is. It's just kind of obsolete being like A&G CISO, right? But holy shit, look at that. This thing has a really beautiful heating pack in it. I think I demonstrated in an old Alvarian radio that they like to put heating elements against parts of the radio to keep them from crashing in low temperatures. It's a patch, but it works amazing. So this is a, what is it, 48 volt, 20 watt. Jesus Christ, that's beautiful. I'm going to use that somewhere. So 48 volt, 20 watt, what does that work out to? So that means that this requires a high current power adapter. 48 volt, 20 watt would be about what, 350 milliwatts, roughly? 350 milliwatts. So that's actually pretty cool. A 20 watt heater. Really nice one. Look at that. It's all encased in like rubber. Oh, I think this is a graphite mat. So that's really awesome. Now, look at this here. This is another cool thing that they did back in the day. It actually came with a, I think it was a 50-foot serial cable that connected here, and you would actually thread that on, so it was a nice secure serial cable. And you've probably seen these connectors before if you use any kind of premium equipment that goes on a tower. So it gave you a serial interface that you could bring down to the base of the tower in case, you know, this guy went tits up for whatever reason. All right, now, oh, I see something. I don't know if you see it too, but I see it. It looks pretty cool. I know what we're getting into. All right, so let's disconnect the serial board. Look at the heatsink on this. Look at the inductor, or the transformer, sorry, over here. So we've got our matching transformer here. This is clearly a 100 meg. And then this is for the power supply. This is nice. Look at the inductors in here, like proper caps. Like, this is just really well built. Oh, it's a shame that it's obsolete, but here's what I'm looking at. So we've got the 2.4 and the 5 gig. The 5 gig is on this PCI card, so I really want to get this guy apart. Let's see here. Oh, wow, this was a treat. I honestly didn't expect this. I know this is obsolete, but you guys should consider and appreciate this. And I'm working on, by the way, getting a Ruckus access point to demo for you guys too, because the Ruckus 7962 access points are actually quite impressive pieces of technology. They were one of the first access points on the market to actually have proper beam steering built in. So I really wanted to get a hold of one, and I found one, but I need to put a replacement access point in its place before I take it out, so that the company doesn't lose their Wi-Fi. But it's going to be really cool as a teardown. You get to actually see the Gitterdun version 9 beam steering array, which is so cool. And I'm going to see about having a guest speaker come on to explain how the beam forming array works, actually. Here we go. We've got, I saw one more There's one more cap stand right here. So this whole thing is heatsink, of course. Hence why the actual heater was mounted against the internal heatsink there. Let's disconnect these guys. I need my little tweezers here. We're gonna just get underneath there and just carefully pop it like so. This guy here, it's got some hot glue over it, so there we go. Always be very careful when you take these RF connectors off. Now, how are we gonna get this out? Because it looks like the Ethernet port goes in. Oh, can we free it? I'm going to have to take these N-type connectors off to be able to get into this guy. So bear with me for a moment while I do that. I'll do the between the legs thing here. But yeah, I think it's a really cool thing to understand how technology has evolved and how it works. And you know what? You might think that these teardowns are just a teardown for the sake of tearing it down, but what I really think is critical is what you take away from this. If you have a full understanding of a piece of equipment, even older equipment, it helps you to understand the nature and behavior of newer equipment. So by me taking this thing apart, you're going to see some similarities to some of the newer gear, and you're going to see some tricks that even Ubiquiti used. Okay, so now we've almost got this out. I'm going to make sure my heat gun's on because we're going to need that in a minute. Alright, so now I should be able to lift this up and forward. There we go. And it should just pop right out. Cool. And look at that beautiful heat sink right there. So that's bonding this to the... It's actually using this ground plane here to bond to the chassis here for the cooling purposes. So now, actually I'm going to need my... I think this is a job for my soldering iron, believe it or not. Yeah, we'll use this tip. Just the tip. I love seeing that. I'm an Archer fan, by the way, if you guys haven't figured that out already. Big Archer fan. In fact, Pam Poovey is one of my favorite characters, and I was very excited in Danger Island when Archer almost hooked up with Pam. I thought that would be the cutest power couple ever, especially since Pam's built and functions like a tank. Alright, where's my solder sucker? Huh, well shit. Come on, solder sucker. Oh, there's a microphone mount. I was looking for one of those earlier. Handy dandy. Okay, where the fuck is my solder sucker? Well, that irritates me. Ugh, I wish I wasn't so disorganized. But that's life, right? My life is chaos. I was also looking for that. Huh, you know what? We can do without. As much as I hate to do this, I'm going to sacrifice some of my solder wick. Alright, so first things first, before we actually do anything, I'm going to bring up my temperature to about 430 here and clean my tip. And we are going to remove this can here. Okay, so I'm going to, and look, it's already been removed before because clearly somebody's gone in here and done a maintenance on it, probably swapped the card. That would have happened prior to my friend owning it because, there we go. I actually installed this equipment with him, and it was brand new in the box, which means that it could have been serviced and then resent out, which isn't a big deal because when you're working with carrier equipment, it's actually built extremely tough. So this sort of shit is not a problem. You know what? Realistically, why am I wasting my time desoldering? This thing is not really something we're going to salvage or reuse anymore because it's kind of obsolete. So let's just carefully, we'll just very delicately cut these stands for it. Let me put my tools away here. I love this tool set. There we go. Okay, so let's carefully... How am I doing my time, by the way? 16 minutes. Yeah, cool. Alright, so let's just cut the can. I'm going to try to get in here carefully. And this was a common thing back in the day. It's actually still a common thing with the 60 gig cards. You'll actually find that they're USB 3. Here, look at that. So this is a Dlink 802.11a mini PCI card. So this is a 5 gig card. And if you look here, it's what's called a mini PCI. Let's flick it up and pop it out. That is very cool. 802.11a. So the cool thing about this then is theoretically we could actually flush the firmware on here. Mind you, the actual, it's only got a 100 meg port and the horsepower on this thing's probably abysmal. you could theoretically actually swap that card out for something a little bit more robust. Let's take a look what the actual 2.4 interface is on here too. Oh, look, it's an actual, I can open this can. Let's check that out. Oh, that's how it opens. And guess what? Before you even look, can you guess what the chipset is? Put it in the comments below. What chipset you think this is going to be, okay? Because, I'll give you 3 guesses, because it's a 2.4 radio. Hey. And it's the most common chipset on the planet, originally owned by Qualcomm. Atheros. What is the actual chip here? It is an Atheros AR2414A-001. Ha! How cool is that? Okay, so now that we've got that off, I'm going to see if I can delid this CPU here, just semi-non-destructively. There we go. And of course, did they lap it? It doesn't look like it. We might actually be able to get that off with a little bit of acetone. Do I have any acetone over here? I don't have acetone. I mean, like, I keep it here for doing work, but I don't, like, do my nails or anything, so that's kind of obvious, isn't it, right? Let me see if I can just carefully try to sand a little bit of this off. I might be able to get in here and this is a thermal epoxy. So what this stuff does is it's not only a thermal conductor, but it's also a glue. I want to try to get this off without lapping the surface myself, just to see if I can actually see what the chip is. I can almost see it. You know what? Let's see if I can get in there with a pencil. Hold on. Here's a pencil. I think I can see some characters on there. Think so? Oh, I'm starting to see something right here. I'm gonna try to get in there with the sanding pad. Where is my sanding pad? Oh, I need a finer file. 'Cause if I don't do this just right, we're gonna lose the engraving. I might be able to get in here with some ISO now. Do I have any ISO left? Like a drop? Come on. That is dry. Shit. You know, that's the one thing which I need right now is isopropyl alcohol. Bear with me just a moment. I'm going to check and see if we've got some acetone. Gods be praised. It appears that I have acetone. Cool beans. Alright, let's see if we can clean this now. Oh my god, it's coming off. Cool. Yes, we didn't lose it. Here we go. It's an Intel. Okay, so this is an Intel PRIX P420ABB. Clean off a little bit more of this. There we go. Alright, so let's look up that chip. Alright, so this is an Intel. What am I thinking Asus for? Here we go, so Intel. I'm assuming that this is going to be, because that's an interface chip right there. See, that's a Realtek RTL 820 ICP. That'll be a little 100 meg chip. Hopefully it's commercial rated, but either way. And then, of course, you've got your RAM over here and your, what do they call that thing again? It's NVRAM. It's a hard drive. It starts with an E. My buddy can tell you what it is. So this is an Intel PRIX P420. Oops. Intel PRIX 420 ABB. Let's find that thing. Ah, here we go. Let's see if I can find a spec sheet for it. Google is becoming very terrible lately, I've noticed. It seems that it's harder to find things on the interweb lately. So this is the PRIX P420. Oh, that's what I'm missing. I'm missing the P and the pricks. P420. ABB. Ah, it's a processor. So it's an APU. Let's see here. Obsolete. Yes, programmable. Describes the ability to make programming. 266 core operating frequency. 266 core operating frequency describes the maximum operating speed. So 266 megahertz. Let's see here. Supply voltage is 1.235 to 1.35. Operating supply voltage. Maximum voltage 3.4. Minimum temperature is 0 minimum operating temperature. Describes minimum temperature. Maximum is 70. Commercial supplier. BGA 492. Surface mount. Huh. Okay, so this is a 266 megahertz programmable APU. Pretty cool, eh? And then, oh, something else to actually appreciate here. Let me just see how my camera's doing. Yeah, it's not too hot yet. Check this out. Look at all the protection diodes here. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. And there's a relay here. What the? Oh, the relay's for the heater. Look at that. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, wow. So this is actually really well built. And look at this voltage regulator over here. So this is going to be taking, because of course when this comes in here, it's going to go in through this circuitry right here. Here's your power board, your power, basically this whole section here, right here, to here. This will be your power section. Okay, so all of this stuff is like the power plant for the board. This is where the 48 volts is converted into the appropriate voltages for the board. But it looks like there's a carry through that's high current for the mini PCI card here, because that needs 5 volts. And that's your 5 volt buck right there. Because you can tell it's a buck because there's no inductors around it, so it's definitely stepping down. And then it looks like we've got a MEMS here. Which is cool because that's old. Oh, Lattice, look at that. A Lattice Networks chip. That's old. That looks like a Southbridge. Oh, and look, there's buttons on here. I didn't see those on the housing. Oh, you know what? I'm kind of tempted to reassemble this thing and actually try hacking it just for shits and giggles, but God knows I'm too busy as it is. But anyway, that's pretty cool, eh? So that's the teardown of the Dlink outdoor access point model. DWL7700 AP. This thing was an expensive beast back in the day, by the way. So, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that. This is going to be repurposed for sure. That is beautiful. In fact, I may actually use that in my jacket. Put it right on my spine, just below my shoulder blades. That'll really keep me warm. But, yeah. Well, thanks, everybody. I hope you'd enjoyed, and thanks to our Patreons. And, yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already. And, yeah. Have a great evening. Bye. Bye now. You can go now. Just thanks. Thank you. Appreciate all of you. Bye.